The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Hey, Nat, I parked my car outside my garage last night. I'm in that situation where I've got my oldest boys now have all got their licence and stuff, so there's more cars in the driveway.
A lot of cars.
And because we're the first ones to leave, as you know, my car has to be on the outside.
Of course, you don't want to be waking them up.
I'm a bit spewed about that. Because you know when you jump, you know this, when you jump in your car when it's sitting out in the street, it's bloody cold.
Yes, Shaun.
Annoys me.
Yes,
anyway, the first thing I looked at this morning when the garage door went up and my car was right in front of me was a bloody parking fine on the passenger side windscreen, should I say.
Your car was parked in the driveway,
driveway.
So had that been there for a while?
Well, I didn't use my car I picked Sonny up from school, 3:30 type of stuff. I hadn't used my car since then. I put it in the driveway. And I was thinking, one of the bloody boys is gone and parked. He's taken my car, zipped into Freo, which sometimes happens, and they've got a parking fine. They've just left it. And I'm spewing. And I think it was my younger son, Ollie, right? So I'm thinking the bastard hasn't got any money, hasn't got a job, and I'm going to have to pay for this thing anyway. So I'm fuming, and I grabbed it off the windscreen. I was in the car, and then I briefly had a look at it. As you can see, it says dual cab on it, and it says yesterday's date.
Yes.
And then I'm driving along, and I'm thinking, I better have a bit of a closer look at that. And
it's from Fremantle Ports, which is... Did you go to Gage Roads yesterday afternoon and forget about it?
I had a couple, so could have forgot about it. No, I put on the light inside my car, and it's got Ford dual cab. So my car was a dual cab.
You're a Mazda.
I'm a Mazda. Well,
you're a Melville Mazda.
Maybe they made a mistake.
Oh, yeah, because they don't know the thing, the difference between Fords and Mazdas.
For sure.
Idiots.
So then I had a look at the licence plate, and I'm thinking the first three numbers are around the mark of what my number plate would be, so I wasn't quite sure on
your
that.
number plate starts with an I, and that one starts with an H.
It says 1, so that could have been an I. Oh, the
1, sorry. Yeah, okay, so they all start with 1. But yours starts with 1 I.
Yeah, but then it was 3:43, and I would pick my daughter up like 3:30 on the dot, so it would have had to be, Roscoe McGlashan in the Aussie Invader to get to Fremantle and park in an illegal position to be able to get this. So anyway, as it turns out, overnight, someone has put a parking fine that they've received.
This isn't your parking fine.
It isn't.
That is not your registration number. And,
put it in the right spot on the passenger side part of the window screen.
It's $65, so you're just going to pay it to reward their audacity.
Craftiness. Do you reckon people do that and hope that somebody pays it?
Yeah, I reckon. Or they just think it's funny. I reckon it's somebody you know who's got it, and then they've just gone, let's put this on Shaun's car, it'll be funny. Do you know anybody that drives this Ford dual cab?
In the street that might have done that.
What a mystery.
So they have to come out of their way to do that and put it on my front windscreen.
I know, but to be funny, you would. You know a lot of people, and a lot of people know where you live, Shaun. That's all I'm saying.
Under the cover of darkness, could you be bothered?
Yeah, because it's funny.
Yeah, okay.
And if you've gotten it that day and you're like just driving past your house, I'd go, I'm just going to give this to Shaun.
Similar cars?
Similar cars, might pay it.
Oh. Yeah, right. Okay, well, I'm done. It had me...
So you're not paying it? Is what you're saying? You're not paying it?
But it had me in a tears this morning.
You're flummoxed.
Yeah, most definitely.
If it was you and you're listening 13 24 10, give us a call.
Can someone explain that to me?
If you give us a call, we might get Shaun to pay it for you.
Has anyone got one before? Has anyone got one before and paid someone else's fine?
Yeah,
not realised?
does this actually work?
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
Let us know.
Surely it wouldn't. All right, if you want to call, feel free.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
A shout out to the young lady who was in the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. You might have seen this on the news. She was, walking on some rocks.
Yep.
And she dropped her phone and it fell down a gap between some rocks. And she leant down to try and reach it and tumbled in head first to this crevice where she was then wedged for 7 hours while they had to rescue her. So her friends tried to pull her out, they couldn't. So all you could see from the top was just her bare feet.
That's right.
Why was she wearing shoes? She might have just had flip-flops or something. So there she is, upside down between two big boulders for 7 hours while the rescue crews tried to figure it out. And they said they'd never seen anything like it. Eventually, they had to kind of winch one of the 500-kilogram boulders away so that she could be extracted. And she never got a phone back. So it wasn't
And
even
she
worth
never
it.
got a phone
It wasn't
back.
even worth it. So she's fine. She went to hospital and they just checked her over. She had just some scratches, but that was it. But imagine being upside. I don't think I could be upside down for a minute, let alone for 7 hours.
Yeah, at what point does your head explode?
Yeah,
I want to
I know.
because your blood's running to your head.
Maybe that's why they couldn't get her out, because her head got too fat from all the blood
my
running to
God,
it.
that would be the worst ever. And I know, like her friends were like panicking after a while.
Yes.
They had to hightail it out of that bush area, but they couldn't
get
get
help.
reception,
No, that's
so
right.
they had to keep going and going and
Yes,
going.
I know, right?
But then emergency services, as you said, Nat, to be able to winch that boulder, they had to
Yes.
bring some heavy duty equipment in there.
It took like 10 different rescue bodies to be able to do it, they said. So they had to really think about how we're going to get her out of there without injuring her further. Obviously,
Yep.
that was quite. You couldn't just tie a rope around her foot and like.
Oh, Dad, put it on
pull.
the horse saddle, like in the old days.
Yeah, that's right. Or these days, come on, we're not savages. You'd put it on the front of the bull bar of the four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they couldn't do that, obviously. So yeah, but I can't fathom being upside down in a tight space like that for 7 hours.
I know, but sometimes you got to put your body on the line to save the phone. Like, you've seen it, you dropped it. Phones mean everything to us. Some things mean stuff to us, so you need to get them straight
I know that
away.
your phone, like our lives are on our phones and all the rest of it. And I think I wouldn't do that. If it falls down a 3 metre crack between some rocks, I'm like, I'm sorry, it's gone forever. But having said that, I did my phone. I was in Cambodia, and I had it in the pocket of my cargo pants, because that's what the pockets are for, right? But I was doing a cycling trip, so I had cycling nicks on underneath. But we'd finished the cycling element for the day, so I went into the toilet to take my nicks off, and so I had to take the cargo pants off first. And as I did that, the phone flung out, and it was like the perfect arc. You could see it just go whoosh, 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 and then it landed in the Cambodian squat toilet.
No, thanks.
So I reached in and got it.
Oh, that's a bit gross, isn't it?
I mean, as far as Cambodian squat toilets go, it was on the cleaner end, I guess. And like, it's Cambodia. There's lots of rice that you could put it in. You know how you've got to put it in the rice to absorb the moisture.
That soak up the poo?
No, and a lot of
That's how you get brown rice. That's how you get brown rice. Okay, I got it now.
So, I mean, I didn't even think twice about it. I just went. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, and grabbed it. So I see how you could perhaps tumble into a crevice and be stuck there for 7 hours.
Sometimes you shouldn't save things.
No, I know.
Because accidents happen.
Yeah.
I know you see a lot of people at the pub when they're walking with a couple of beers or a tray or something like that.
Yes.
One goes or someone half drops it and you go to save it. They go arse over or they smash the table over.
Yeah, or instead of dropping one, they drop a whole tray.
Yeah.
Or,
Maybe on
saving
you're
things,
around
it's
a pool.
too dangerous,
you know,
isn't it?
You're around a pool, you get knocked. Phones are the ones you try to save when you're around a pool. And
phones, watches, that kind of thing. And then it's like, oh no, now everything's a disaster.
Well, we want to hear from people who have tried to save something. Was it worth it in the end? What happened when you try to jump after your phone?
Did you get into
save
way
a
more
beer?
trouble? Were you stuck on a roof for 6 hours? I don't know.
Were you stuck in a crevice of a rock that was 3 metres? Had to call for the emergency services.
Which is hard because you can't reach your phone.
That's actually very good.
Hello, Tammy.
Hi, how you going?
Good, Tammy.
Okay, what happened?
I was traffic controller about 5-6 years ago now, and as we all do with our phones and things like that in our back pockets, so I need to go to the Portaloo.
Yeah.
Because they're sort of a bit of a not close to the toilet. But I clicked my two-way on my back pocket.
Yeah.
I've got the Portaloo, ripped my pants down, and my two-way has flipped out of my pocket, off the clip, straight into the Portaloo.
Yeah.
Oh, you did not go after that,
Oh,
surely.
you got to.
I had to get it out. It wasn't mine.
Oh, Tammy.
You got to.
So, oh, God, was it as gross as I think it is?
It was bad. It was bad. Well, I didn't have to reach too far, which was probably worse again anyway because the Portaloo was quite full.
But then, but then you've got to hold that thing up to your face for the rest of the day.
No, I put my glove on, grabbed hold of it, and when I pulled it out, I pulled my glove over the two-way and literally threw it into the back of the ute.
Yeah.
But I'd stuck my head out of the Portaloo after I'd realised that I'd dropped it in there and just yelled out to my mates, I've got my phone in the Portaloo. Oh, sorry, my two-way in the Portaloo, and obviously started making all these. They started talking on the two-way while I'm trying to grab it out and made it even worse.
That's what friends are for. Wow.
So yeah, I actually had to take it home and clean it up because it was a work two-way.
Yeah, of course.
No, yeah.
Tammy.
I would never want to speak into that thing again,
No,
to
because
be
you
honest.
get real close with it, but you got to go for it because it's not yours. I understand.
A portaloo sounds worse than a Cambodian squat toilet, I'll be honest.
Portaloos are gross. You know men that use the portaloos all the time on those building sites?
You're disgusting,
What do they do?
you men.
No, I agree. Far out.
Thanks, Tammy. Liz is in Beverly. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Liz.
Liz, why shouldn't you try and save something?
My younger daughter, she's nearly 2, was walking down a set of stairs out the front of our house, and we live on a farm. And she's gone to slip over and fall, so I've gone to grab her, you know, natural instinct, trying to save your child.
Yep.
Yes.
As I've gone down these 2 stairs to save her, I have snapped my ankle/lower leg in half.
Oh!
The bone has completely come out of all of my skin and everything.
Compound fracture.
Liz.
Yeah, severe fracture. So then she was perfectly fine and healthy.
Of course she was.
She landed on her nappy. I screamed. She then screamed because I screamed.
Yes.
So then my fiancé came out and he was like, oh, what happened? And then he goes, oh, is she okay? And then we looked down and he went, oh, my gosh. And I went, I can't walk. And we went, yep, let's call an ambulance.
Yeah. So
But my daughter is fine.
Yeah, of course. So, you're a great mother.
Yes, you are.
You literally put your body on the line. I mean, it's hard to believe you can break your leg that badly on 2 steps.
Yes,
Well done.
I'm still in a moon boot. It's been 10 weeks.
Oh. Liz, did you pass out at all because of the pain, or were you
No.
in shock that...
No, I watched the whole thing and took photos, and it was great.
Why?
Wow.
Wasn't the pain there?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it was
sincerely shock, yeah.
adrenaline.
Yep.
And then when the ambulance came, obviously,
Green whistle.
they give you all of the green whistle,
Yeah.
and yeah.
How long did it take for the ambulance to get there? Because I know, it's, in the country, it's a volunteer thing
They
usually.
were pretty quick.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
it was about 45 minutes, and we live 20 minutes out of town.
Yeah.
Do they try to put it back into
No,
place?
they wouldn't. They couldn't.
No, they just splint it, leave it all an open wound. They splint it as it is, and you go down to. So I came down to a hospital in Perth,
That's
and
a
then they
surgeon's
knocked
job.
me out and put the whole thing back together, casted it, and then they transferred me over for surgery.
Because there's also a risk of infection with the open thing. So, don't, Sean, I'm telling you now, if you see somebody's leg like that, do not touch it. You leave them alone.
I don't know. I
You
think I can
can't
save
put
it.
it back.
I think I can fix it.
You're not even a handyman when it comes to the pieces of wood. There's no way you're going to try and put somebody's leg back together
cool.
again. Thanks so much, Liz. Glad you're nearly okay. Kate's in Brabham. Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, Kate.
What did you try and save, and what happened?
I'm just going to start off by saying that my story is the polar opposite of the previous lady.
Yeah.
I was camping with some friends, and I had their daughter on one of my knees, and I had my glass of wine on the other knee, and the child started falling, and I had to make a decision whether I saved my glass of wine or I saved the child.
I think I know how this is going to go, Kate.
Yeah. So the child fell onto the ground. The dad was not very impressed at all. The mum understood that I made the right choice.
You saved your glass of wine?
Priorities.
I did, yeah. Didn't spill a drop.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
So,
Congratulations.
The difference being not your child, I take it, yeah?
Yeah, not my child. I would still do the same with my own child. So.
Yeah, I think so. You can't tell what your reflexes are going to do.
That's right. That's right.
But then you know.
That was just instinct, and your instinct said wine is more important than this delightful little child. So
It was, and she was in the most beautiful fluffy white suit, and we were camping, and there was leaves all over the ground, and couldn't get the leaves out of the suit, so I had to go to the bin. Yeah, I wasn't very popular.
It's a win all round. Oh, well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kate.
Kate,
Great
you're one of our people, Kate.
Great. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're kindred spirits.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Now, I was at the gym yesterday and I was just talking to one of the ladies there about, this time of year things starts getting busy. Everyone's calendars start filling up.
I was just looking up a Christmas party that we're both invited to, and I'm like, oh, yeah, is it that weekend? No, it's that weekend. And I have 2 weekends in a row where I've got a Christmas party Friday and Saturday, and then Friday and Saturday again. It's like, oh, I'm already tired.
You get anxiety about it. I feel that way at the moment. So I was telling her about the things that we've got coming up, we're all doing together, and she was saying, yeah, mate, I've just had such a busy time of late. I've had a few weddings on. I said, oh, yeah. And she goes, we've got one this week. It's down south. But this person is getting married for the 4th time.
Hang on. You can't have a destination wedding for your 4th time round. Are you serious?
You're going down
you
south
just do that in the backyard or at the registry office. What do you do? Go to Vegas. What are you people doing?
Well, first of all, I asked the question was it a female wedding?
Is it the guy's 4th wedding? Yeah, okay.
She said, what do you think? So that was definitely aimed at me being a guy.
Yes.
She said the women have, they're smarter enough to not go through it a number of times. Where this guy was of the opinion that once, he's been married 4 times. So
what does another one matter?
Half of 0 is 0 still. So he's got no cash. He's lost it all before.
Well, Elizabeth Taylor got married 8 times to 7 men. So once she doubled up with Richard Burton, married him twice. That's amazing, isn't it?
You were just, I think Sam was just Googling J-Lo.
Yes.
How many times, Sam?
I think she's 4, and she's just broken back up with Ben Affleck, I think. So it could be on for number 5.
Yeah, that's
possibly.
right. She's available. One of my friends was married 3 times, and probably, 3 times before she was 45, I reckon. If not even younger. And terrible taste in men. Terrible taste in men. So she's now said, no, that's it. Never again. I'm not going near anyone.
Do you believe her, though?
No. I think that will wear off. But we have forbidden her from, you're allowed to go out with them. You're allowed to move in with them even, but you are not to marry anyone ever again because you're not good at it.
I can't see. After, was it once shy, twice bitten? What is it? Twice bitten, once shy? I don't know what it is. What is it? Do you know the...
Twice bitten, once shy.
I'm not even close. Rolling Stone gathers something. Anyway, why would you go again? I understand the second time because a lot of people get married at the first time
and
it's like,
when
what are we
they're
up
quite
about
young
50%?
and they kind of drift apart or whatever, that's fine. And then as they're older, with a little bit of wisdom behind them, they meet somebody and it's a more compatible match.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends have done that actually in recent times, and they work beautifully. They work perfectly. But more
I'm open to anybody who is on the they've gotten rid of their first one and they're available now.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. I'm happy to be somebody's second wife.
Well, why not? You know why? Because they've matured. They're not going to make the same mistakes. Or do they? Or do they?
Well, yeah. I mean, my friend did 3 times. So perhaps it's possible.
Well, I want to hear if people are out there that have been married more than twice because it's not that usual.
Twice will allow.
And surely you get to a point you're like, come on,
3, 4,
maybe you fall
5,
in love.
6.
What's
7.
the record?
Maybe.
Is anyone out there that's done that many?
Are you a repeat offender?
Can't help it. Love's love.
Sasha is in Hammersley. Hi, Sash.
Hi, how you going?
Great, Sash. Okay, so who's been married more than twice?
Okay, so it's my mum.
Yeah.
She's on to her 4th marriage.
Oh, my God.
So her first marriage didn't last very long. It was only like a few years.
Yes.
And then, so that was my real dad, so he's a flop.
Yeah.
And then she remarried a lovely guy called Perry.
Yes.
He unfortunately passed away about probably 10 years after they were together, after they got married.
Oh.
From leukemia.
Yep.
Oh.
So that was pretty sad. And then she remarried again a few years after that, and she married a lovely guy called Bob. And then Bob, a few years ago, had few heart issues.
Yep.
So went into hospital and didn't come out.
Oh.
So that was very, very sad.
Oh.
And then the last one was this year, in February, she married a guy called Nick.
And they're still together.
How's his health?
Is he okay?
He's actually got bad hips.
Well, at least that means he can't run away.
Mate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I think every time your mum meets a new partner, she's got to declare what's happened to the previous partners.
I agree.
Because you've got to weigh that up.
We did try to warn him,
I would
he
too.
could end up on the other side.
I know. Let me tell you a story about Bob and Terry. Poor Bob and Terry. That's rough, isn't it?
That's really rough.
And your poor mum, she's been through a lot, so she deserves a bit of happiness.
Yeah, Yes.
Let's hope Nick hangs in there.
Oh, let's hope so, Nick.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, Sasha. All right, well, that's 4. Beth's in Port Kennedy. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Beth.
All right, Beth. Who's been married more than twice?
My dad. He's been married. He's on his 5th wife.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, talk us
he
through
lives
them.
in the UK, and he was married twice before my mum.
Yeah.
One of them was more interested in the opposite sex, and he caught her with another lady.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So then met my mum at a divorced and separated party.
Fun. Yes.
Fun. Married my mum.
Yep.
Then split up from my mum, married a lady from the Czech Republic who was a lot younger than him.
Yes.
Had another child, and now he's married to a Chinese lady.
Oh.
He's very international, isn't
and
he?
is she young too, Beth?
She is a bit younger than him, yeah. Even takes his shoes off for him, looks after him, yeah. He's old now. He's in his 70s.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
it's living the dream,
Oh,
isn't it?
that's
So
good,
do you think this will be his last wife?
I hope so, yes.
5th wife.
It's a lot of weddings. Did he have a big wedding every time he got married, or was it just, they diminished in size as he went
Well, I
on?
never got invited to any of them.
Oh,
The last 2, no, I never got invited to.
That's because he couldn't afford it, Beth. He could only have one person
Probably.
at the wedding. He's carving up his
Probably.
property left, right and centre.
Yeah,
Wow.
lots of child support.
Yeah.
yeah, I know, right? You've got to consider these
5th
things,
marriage.
Sean.
Can I just say, I was reading an article on a guy called Bill Belichick. Do you know much about him? He's a former Patriots coach who was the coach of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's 72, and all the stories out on her at the moment is that he split up from his wife a little while ago. I think his second wife.
Yes.
Anyway, he's got a new bird that he's buying an engagement ring for. She's 24.
He's 72.
He's 72.
Come on.
Mate, surely.
No, that's not right.
She loves him, apparently.
I bet she does. I bet she does.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.